2 years ago, I was invited on a trip to Death Valley with a few strangers to shoot the Milky Way. Within 48 hours, these strangers quickly became friends, and we would go on to call ourselves the Milk Maidens. Fast forward 2 years later, and the same group of friends has shot the night sky all over the California desert and eastern Sierras. Although shooting conditions haven't always been ideal, sitting in the pitch black with no cell phone service for hours in the middle of nowhere is something that made our bond as friends stronger. Last weekend, for the first time in 2 years, we were all in town and able to take a trip together, and this is that story. But before we begin, let me introduce you to the Milky Way crew. First off, there's Jonathan. Jonathan is a sensei, and not just because he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's the planner and organizer of these Milky Way shoots, and everything he does is pre-planned and calculated for maximum milk. Then there's Ryan, the Jedi, or what he likes to call himself, the composition virgin.
Still his composition.
The light over you, man.
All night, man.
Do you have any original compositions or what?
Nope, I'm still.
Next up is my man Robbie, fittingly nicknamed Lens Cap Robbie, because of his failure to remove his lens cap during our first astrophotography outing and thinking he got the shot.
We got the Milky Way crew.
With all four of us back together for the first time in 2 years, it was time to set off on the first Milky Way adventure of the season. This is photographing the Milky Way with friends. So for this shoot, we headed to Anza Borrego Desert, which is about 2 hours north of San Diego. One of the key factors in shooting astrophotography is having as little amount of light pollution in the area that you're shooting so the stars can be clearly seen. And Anza Borrego is the perfect place to start the Milky Way season.
How's it going, man? It's been a good 2 years since I've seen you.
Step 1. Find the perfect composition. Or have a couple beers first, and then find the perfect composition.
Ryan, I got the comp.
That's a banger.
It's not bad.
30 likes.
Tell me about how many milk trips you've been on, dude.
Man, get that out of my face. I've been on a lot of milk trips, man. Not so much without you, though, dude. Get that out of my face.
Fun and games aside, we were actually on a mission to find these two metal sheep sculptures that Jonathan envisioned using as a foreground in what he called a Milky Way creme de la creme shot. You can't make this shit up. Step 2. Find the f***ing sheep.
Slowly reverse.
Wise elder.
Slowly reverse
All
out.
right, now's our chance.
Yeah.
Even.
All right, let's
Slowly
go.
reverse out. The worst part is he doesn't have his camera.
That's the best part for us.
Oh, I know, it's the worst part for him. Honestly, he would choose his camera over like just normal survival.
Oh, yeah. Let's wait for the sign.
He'll die with his camera in his hand, like frozen into his hand. I'm gonna get the last of the milk, the last strip. The photographer in his natural habitat, scouting the land, searching his phone for the correct position. Doesn't see shit over there, he says. Classic photographer language, very technical jargon. What did you find?
Nothing.
Nothing, he says.
Check this out. So it says HN1 is the bighorn sheep. That's Stagecoach Highway, which we're on right now. Right at the end. This is where it's supposed to be. So
Interesting predicament has arisen.
Maybe they murked him, pulled him out of the dirt.
No rams, dude?
well, they might have moved it to where we saw,
Oh, shit.
because it's not there anymore. This map says they're here, but they're not here.
Step 3. Set up camp. After some dinner and a couple more drinks, we had come to a realization that the sheep sculpture had actually been relocated to a new spot, which wasn't ideal for optimum milk or total lactation. Was that going to stop the sensei from sliding his way into the Milky Way's DM that night?
The original plan was to shoot these two fighting sheep from a certain location. Turns out that f***ing location moved. Now the sheep are in a different place that isn't so milk worthy. So gonna get up around 1 o'clock, be up between 2 and 4, trying to make something happen.
But you normally plan out your compositions before?
Very, very detailed plans. I don't leave to shoot the milk unless I have a plan A and a plan B.
But you planned this for a long time?
Yes, I've been looking forward to this for a couple weeks actually, and just went to shit.
Shit. Alright, plan B. Step 5. Shoot the Milky Way. Now, there are a ton of resources online on how to actually accomplish this, but in short, to shoot the Milky Way you'll need a DSLR or mirrorless camera, a fast lens, and a tripod. Once you have your gear, you'll need to shoot the stars with a long exposure to reveal what can't be seen to the naked eye. Planning is a huge part of shooting the Milky Way as it's only visible from March through October, and actual time frame for shooting varies from early morning to early night depending on the time of the season. Now back to those infamous sheep we were trying to find earlier. Because Jonathan is such a professional, we were able to track down those sheep, and although this was not how he had pictured his shot, he was able to make it work. As much fun as it is getting that perfect Milky Way shot, I actually only shot video during this trip. One of the things I look forward to is being out in the middle of nowhere with good friends in complete solitude. No cell service, no distractions, just community. I look forward to these trips every year as it gives us all a chance to slow down, catch up, and truly live in the moment. Who were once strangers on that first trip to Death Valley are now good friends that I will share these memories with for the rest of my life. If you've never thought about shooting the Milky Way, I hope this video inspires you to do so. And for that creme de la creme shot Jonathan was hoping for, well, he got it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I will see you in the next video.
But if you don't like this music, then don't be listening to it. You know, I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, can you?